Opposite tables, LOL. Tables. No, I wouldn't. Haha. And yay for the I can't believe it's like 18 days away. Like, hello.
Sarah,
How are ya?
good. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Let me get this pulled up here. Okay, so give me the backstory a little bit. Like how'd you find us? All that good stuff. I saw you said like you were looking at affiliate marketing or something, and you must have stumbled upon our blog or something like that.
I
Usually,
did, I
rabbit
did,
hole.
I did. Yeah, I was looking at Adam Sharrington's um, affiliate marketing, and that's when I stumbled onto your Chinese cat, um, your Chinese colleague. I can't, I forget the gentleman's name. Very young guy.
ePay, yeah.
Ipe, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's Chinese, but anyway, or
It's I think
Oriental,
yes,
or
yes.
American. I don't know. What I know.
He
But anyway,
he's
yeah.
he's Korea. He was born in Korea,
Korea. Okay.
but he's lived. I mean, listen, he's been in the States like since he was a kid, so he's
Okay. All
he's
right.
pretty Americanized, I would say, at this point. But yeah,
Okay.
anyways,
Okay.
but
All right. Hopefully I haven't offended anyone, but that's
oh my
good.
gosh, no. Honestly,
Okay.
most people can't even say his name, so it's all good.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
no,
So
yeah, for
I stumbled onto him and
okay,
I watched a few videos. So I've watched your company's presentation
okay,
for the past day, maybe 2 days, starting Sunday. So it's interesting. I mean, the difference. Um, I don't think I've ever heard of digital real estate before.
yeah.
Yeah, so again, it looks interesting, so that's why I'm on the call today.
So what do you like what do you currently do right now for work?
I'm a chaplain. And I'm a
Oh,
hospital chaplain at a level 2 trauma hospital in a place called Scranton, Pennsylvania.
yeah, my dad used to live in Scranton. So,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
So I'm from New York originally. I moved out
So am
west.
I. So am I. Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Staten Island. So, he stayed back east. I moved well, to Oregon. So, and when I was a kid with my mom and I was out west for a while, but yeah, he wanted to get out of the city and he
Okay.
moved to Scranton. It was like Scranton, Dingman's, you know where Dingman's Ferry is? I guess it's technically, yeah. Like this
Yeah.
little small, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Cause I mean, he lived in the city his whole life. He came over from Egypt, but I mean, he's been in New York City his whole life. And then he tells me he's
Okay.
moving to this like, you know, town with the dirt road. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Um, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
familiar with it. So he he moved away from that. He lives in Warwick now, but yeah, no, I'm familiar with the area. So cool. Okay.
Okay. All
Thanks.
right.
Um,
So I'm
walk
looking to retire by June. That's my birthday.
what day in June?
Sure, I was born June 2nd.
Oh, okay, nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Coming up. It's coming up.
coming up. So I'm looking into these different avenues to produce income.
Yeah,
Chaplaincy is not lucrative by any stretch of the imagination.
for sure. No, I
So,
understand.
Yeah.
I used to be a teacher, so I get it.
Okay.
It's a service. You
Yes.
paid in other ways, but
That's
so
what they say.
yeah. Yeah, I taught fifth grade for a little bit, but we'll all kind of get into the
Okay.
story so you kind of know who I am and like, why I'm here, whatever. I've actually known Dan, the guy who started all of this,
Okay.
since college. So we both went to Oregon. So I've known him when he sold cars. I mean, way back
Okay.
in the day. It's crazy to think about. Like I've known him half my life, at this point. I've known him 18 years.
Hmm.
But I went to school to be a teacher, like I said. I mean, he, was in his thing. And we like obviously have our kids have grown up together, whatever. But I kind of always was watching what he was doing, from the sideline. Like I didn't really have interest in it. I had my career. My daughter at the time was 2. And this was back in 2015. And then I found out I was having twins. So I was like, okay, well,
Okay. Congratulations.
oh, thanks. They're almost 10 now. So
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
I mean, at that point in my life, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have 3 kids, under 3, and I couldn't go back to work. Just it wasn't gonna work out, logistically, financially, none of it. So that's when I called Dan and I said, all right, what's this internet thing, that you're doing? And because I just wanted something, to be honest, to do from home, in that limbo period, like just being transparent. If you would have asked me years ago if I would still be doing this, 10 years later, I would have, I mean, that wasn't a thought in my mind, I was, thinking like something for transition. But, anyways, I said, it makes sense to me, like at a very basic level. I had no background in any of this stuff, I taught fifth grade. But I could see where the value was from a business standpoint. Like businesses need leads. Okay. Like that's never going to go away. Right. I mean, changes,
Right.
right? But it's pretty evergreen. So I understood that. And then, from a business side on my end, I'm like, okay, well, I prove this as a consumer like every day, like I pick up my phone, I Google stuff all day long and, I click on the top couple spots. So, I'm like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And, yeah, here we are. I mean, it's been a crazy journey. It's been awesome. It's definitely a real business if you want it to be.
Hmm.
I think it's a lot different too from, other avenues just because it is something that you really can mold into what you want it to be. And I think that is important, from a business, if you're building a business, right? Like, you
Hmm.
need to have control, right? Everyone has different goals of what they want and, how big it wants to be or how small, it doesn't matter, right? None of that stuff matters. You just need to figure out what that looks like for you and, how it's going to fulfill your purpose in, what you need it to. And it's just something that I knew I could grow with, right? Like it's not a fad. It's not, I'm not working for someone else selling a product or, whatever. So anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm an open book. Like I can show you the course. I mean, I built my business. I still have it. I've got my hands in a lot of other things too at this point. I think that's kind of the, you know, millions of things I've learned doing this for as long as I have. I mean, when you have,
How
what was
how
that?
long have you been doing it?
Since
If you
2000,
mind me asking.
yeah, since 2015, basically.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, when I found
Okay.
out the twins were coming, I mean, I had to figure, so I started this and I had, a 2.5-year-old and newborn babies and, trying to figure out life. And I definitely was slow and steady. Like, I mean, if you want to, put a label on my journey with the business, like, again, I didn't have, you know, the goals of like, I want to own an agency and I want this, like I wanted to make a couple extra grand a month and call it good, like that was what was going to make me happy. But it's really cool because I mean, ePay started around the same time I did, I think, at that point, like, and we're the same age, right? Like he's like my brother, but I mean, listen, he has no kids, he's not married. Like, I mean, there's different life paths of time, of what
Hmm.
we were able to do. And like, it just goes to show, I mean, I think from a business perspective, he's obviously grown his tremendously, like, excelled quicker than I did, starting out.
Hmm.
but we
Mhm.
still reach the finish line, right? Like both of us. And, again, I think that's just what I love about this so much is that everyone's got a different path with it. And it's not,
Mhm.
this cookie cutter thing that you have to, make it to be. But yeah, I mean, it's evolved and changed, but the core of what we teach is still the same, like again, every business needs leads, right? Like we have that leverage and we have that control. There are leads, it's our business. And, there's just so many different ways you can monetize this.
Okay.
Know how to, when you know how to like drive traffic, it really is so powerful, especially online. I mean, that's, the internet's only become more and more prominent, from when I started.
Is that what this part of this course that teaches you how to drive traffic?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the core, right, of what we do because ultimately, you know, um, leads are a lifeline, right? It's I mean, customers, it's business, like they have to have people, right, to get their services.
Right, of course, of
And
course.
that's where I think a lot of businesses fail. It's not because, they have a bad product or maybe, they have a great, system, whatever. They just don't know how to get seen, right? And today it's, if you're not relevant online, I mean, that's a problem for sure. So,
Okay,
you know, that's kind of what we're going over. And again, I can go through the course and kind of break it down and, end goal
okay,
though, I guess, of what we're teaching you, is you're building assets, right? So if you look at it in the sense of like, a physical real estate, like if I went and bought an apartment complex, like I can rent that out, right? I mean, I have renters,
okay,
not it's work involved, but it's pretty passive, like that's, where you start building that up. We're taking that model and just doing it online. So instead of, a physical home, right? Like it's a
hmm,
piece of property, which is, the website. It's how you're driving, it's that asset that is driving the customers to the plumber, to the roofer, like whatever the case is. The big part about this too is it's just not a lot of cost involved too, from a business standpoint on a continual running, like
hmm,
doing what we do is a lot of it's up here, and it's not from a physical product perspective. So
okay.
the risk is the risk reward is pretty, pretty appealing.
Yeah, I noticed in the videos it's close to 85% profit. It's still that?
Yeah,
Or
I
does
mean,
that
just
depend? Is it that much?
yeah, I mean, listen, the websites really cost, I would say roughly like, yeah, I'll just go on the higher end of it, like I would say $50 a month. Okay. Like that's kind of your cost associated with running it, like you have your call tracking number and your hosting and things like that. I mean, like, just giving an example, I was talking to a student yesterday and he just started a window cleaning lead generation site, basically, and we live in Florida. So he did one here in Florida and he started this site. It's probably up for maybe 3 weeks. He got his first lead in. I mean, that job was worth over $800, one job.
Okay. Hmm.
So he's doing it a little differently. Like he's actually going and cleaning the windows, but like that's something we teach too. Like it's just called the arbitrage method a little bit. Like, I mean, again, he what paid $50, a month for this site. He just profited, $700 from one lead, like again, there's just so much margins in this. People are paying us for the fact that we know how to get the customers, not, you know, the other, anything else really. So,
Okay. So before I have a few questions, let's see where that leads.
yeah, for sure. Go.
Okay.
Yep.
So um upfront costs.
Hmm. Of every,
You
so, yeah, so we don't
oh
do,
well, I'm sorry, Sarah. Let me back up. I noticed in the video it says done for you business because part of the business, from what I understand, let's say I don't want to, you don't have to knock on doors, but let's say I don't want to speak to potential customers?
Yep,
Is there
that's
a
fine.
way to get around that?
There is,
Number,
yeah, so again, we've done this for a very long time, right? Like Dan started the course back in 2014. Like, I mean, I
okay,
joined in 15, so, and obviously it's been, updated and blah, blah, from there, but we're experts in the field. Like, we have a lot of experience. We know pain points, like I was very similar to you, probably. Like, one of my biggest hurdles or fears kind of even thinking about doing this was I did not want to go talk to business owners. Like, it's just not my thing. I'm pretty, homebody, introverted for the most, like I'm not a social butterfly. It's just not my jam. Um,
okay.
so I quickly got over that when I realized, there was as
Mm.
much money was involved and, it wasn't that difficult. But
Okay.
anyways,
Uh,
my point is we've been able to evolve the program and like just add other services in, right? Like to your point of, let's say you just want to build a website, you want to do the niche, fine, great. You get that website, it's producing leads. We have a whole, you know, book, I guess you'd say, of business that we already have built-in clients that are willing to pay for those leads, period. One lead,
mhm.
or you're getting 100, it doesn't matter. Um, Obviously the difference with that is, you're splitting profits, but again, who cares? I mean, if you're not, like you're gonna make $30 a lead compared to 60, but you're not going and doing any of that work on the outside, then, again, just build another one, build another one. That's just what this is. It's a numbers game, right? Like, if you want to make 5 grand a month, we just got to break that down and figure out what that looks like and,
Oh,
what,
that's important. Okay.
yeah.
So the done for you business, what's that? You
So,
mentioned that in the videos, done for you business. And
yeah,
and I'm sorry, the videos, how old are the videos? Is that a fair question for you? Because you
yeah,
don't
of
even know what
course.
I've watched, but based
No, 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 no.
on
Here, let me share my screen. So, like I
okay,
said, we've updated the course. I don't know, probably like I'd say 5 or 6 times, throughout the, creation of all of this. This is the course.
hmm
Um, I will say that there's some videos that are, a few years old, but it's not for the fact that they just don't need to be reshot, I guess, because the information hasn't changed, right? With that
okay.
particular, like, so it's not for the fact, it's just like being honest, I'm sure you got this from the videos too. Like, I think Dan, myself, Ipe, the core of us, we're pretty straightforward, simple people. You know what I mean? Like, we're no fluff, like, that's just kind of how we operate. And, I don't need to sit here and do this snazzy, fluffy video, like it's just not our
Now I understand.
learn and make money. You know what I mean? Like if I
Okay,
have to reshoot something, I'm not going to. Um,
okay,
but yeah, so this is the course. It's probably about, I don't know, 40 hours from start to finish, like as you go through.
okay.
Um, you know, with this too, I would look at these videos as like your textbook foundational skills. You get one-on-one coaching as well. So that's always available. You get a calendar, you can book a call, like we definitely handhold, kind of guide you, a lot, especially in the
Is
beginning.
there a cost to that?
It's included in the cost of the course. So I know you asked
Okay,
the question, so I'll just tell you, cost of the course, it's 7,000, 6,000 if you pay for it in full. Um, I'll go into the done for yous in a few. It's a little bit of a different scenario, with that, but that includes all the coaching, includes the course updates. It also includes the community. It's lifetime access, like you don't have to, we do twice a week group coaching calls too. So, you do have a lot of help,
hmm
you know, if that's what you want and need. So, it's available for you, but yeah, that's
okay.
all.
So I gotta go back to the original question, done for you business. What's that look like?
Yeah, so what I just told you, right? Like the course and the coaching, obviously all that's included, right? What
Right.
we're doing is we're handing you everything and we're gonna mentor you kind of through it. You know what I mean? Where you're still doing the work. Okay. Like you're gonna watch the video, you're gonna build the site, you're going, like again, you have help, but it's you clicking the buttons, okay? If you
Hmm.
want us to do the work, right? And say, hey, I don't want to do any of this and I want to get fast, I want to go faster. Because in the reality of things, listen, you're learning, it's a new skill set. Like it's going to take you a little bit longer in the beginning. I mean, that's just natural, with anything that you're doing. Um, we will basically build you 5 sites that are already producing in a way, right? So we're going to rank them, we're going to build them, we're going to find the niche. So leads are coming through and we'll get those clients for you for the first couple of sites. So basically, it's kind of like guaranteed money. It takes, about 45 days to 2 months, but that's more of like a turnkey situation, where
How much is that?
I think, let me check the lowest package. Let me pull it up, sorry. I believe the lowest package is 25,000, but that includes 5 sites. And if you think about it from a money standpoint, each site is kind of guaranteed to produce about 1,000 a month. So I mean, that's, I would even say on like the lower end. I mean, we just got to go over niches and everything, but like, I just gave an example. I mean, one job is worth $800. You know what I mean? Like it just depends on what you're doing. But yeah, so basically, we help you. It's definitely more personal from um, one-on-one standpoint, more like hand holding from ePay, in that sense, I guess. But we're doing the work of getting the clients, closing the deal. It's your site, you own it. We don't have ownership in it, right? So it's different than, splitting the deal, that kind of thing, because it's your client still.
Hmm.
But we're just kind of doing all that. So, I mean, ultimately, you pay more money, up front for us to do it, but you're getting sites that are producing, with clients. So, you know, that money's there. But it's just, longer term play, obviously, with that sense.
So the 25 grand, 5 sites, approximately 5 grand a month
Yeah, I would say minimum. I'd say minimum 5.
minimum.
Yeah.
So does
And
that include the 7 grand?
yeah, that includes the 7 grand. So you would get, you know, obviously the course and the coaching and all that, but you would also get, you know, that's accumulated. So 25. So it's an extra, you know,
Okay,
bit in there.
okay.
But, that's the difference of, the done for you, right? If you have, and there's people like that. I say that you're either time heavy or you're money heavy. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out what makes a little more sense to you. I do
Right.
think think that it's still valuable for you to go through the course, whether or not we're building them or not, right? Like I think you still need to know what this is and again, know the skills because at the end of the day, like I've scaled my business. My highest months I did about 50 grand a month. That was the highest I got. I scaled back, being honest, because it just started to become a job for me again. Like I was doing a lot of, like when you reach that amount of money and like that business level, there's other issues that come into play. And like I kind of you get into hustle mode, right? And you just go, 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 go. And like it was amazing to see that, but I needed to get kind of brought back to the core of like, why did I start this? Like, I mean, what, like
Mhm.
I need time and I was feeling like I was losing time and I don't want that, like, so I probably now, I mean, I have VAs and teams and things like that. I just kind of manage, at this point. So, it's around 30-ish a month, I'd say is what I bring in. Um,
Okay.
which is still plenty. It's not about the money for me. It's about, my daughter's gonna be 13, the twins are 10, like, I need time to be with them, and like that's my first priority, first and foremost. So like, yeah, you can make this whatever you want, right? Like it could be 30, 50, you could make an extra 10 grand a month and you call it good. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, there is no set expectation except the one you put for yourself, and how you want this to kind of go about.
Okay, so the 25, how long you mentioned just a while ago, how long it takes to be for those five sites to be up and running. What was that time period again?
So all 5 sites are going to be launched and built within 45 days. Okay.
45 days. Okay, and then if
So
I did it myself for 7 grand
yeah.
diligently, um, that's just one site, right? 7 grand is just one site, or it depends.
No, I mean, the 7 grand is you could build 20 of them, right? If you wanted to, because you're building them. But I mean, just being realistic and honest, the first bit, you're gonna watch the videos, right? You're gonna go through it. It's just gonna take you longer. I mean, that's like you can't expect any different because you've never done it before. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
So, you know, the likelihood of you getting 5 up in 45 days and moving as quick as we can. Not saying it's
is
impossible, but
remote. Okay, I
um,
got you.
you know, we've got 12 years of experience behind that and teams, right? Like there's a different level of um, you know, performance, I think,
Okay.
at that. So yeah, I mean that's what, listen, I'll say this too. I did it the normal way. That none of this stuff was
Mhm.
around when you know what I mean? Like, so I think you're to my point originally, if you see the value in the model, which I think is the most important aspect of this call, you know what I mean? Like, do you even see yourself doing something like this, right? And then you can determine, okay, do I see, the value in moving faster, right? Do I see the done for yous and getting some, money and clients under my belt first? Like, cause that's realistically what it is, like, yes, you're going to pay a little more, but you're guaranteed money, right? Where then you have a little more time to immerse yourself and focus, whatever, or, you're going to hit the, nose to the grindstone and you start and you do it yourself, but just know it might take a little longer, right? Like, I mean, that's just,
So if I do it diligently myself, you said 40 hours. So let's say I really work at it. You- well, this is not a fair question, but let's say I want 6 grand a month by June. Is that realistic? Or can you
um,
guys help me get there?
listen, I can help you do a lot of things, right? Like I've coached students. I mean, I've coached students that made 20 grand their first month. Do I think that that's a realistic expectation that I would tell you, like to put on yourself? No, but I've done it, like people have done it. You know what I mean? That didn't happen for me. Like that was not my story, right? Um, I think, what is it, March, April? Um, there'd be a lot of work. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I would say,
When you say a lot of work, let's say I say to you, what's a lot of work? And it's 40 hours. I
correct.
mean, that's a week. That's one week.
But think
Not
about it.
right.
So,
So
yep. So that's 40 hours. If you were to watch the videos from start to finish, okay? That's
yeah,
40 hours. But you're gonna be
right. So
building, implementing along with it, right? Because you're not just watching
right.
videos. You're gonna finish that video and you're gonna do what we told you. You're gonna do what we told you to do, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I would say realistically, for you to get through the course, right, from beginning to like having, your websites built, right, assets, because that's the end goal of, the modules. I would say,
Mhm.
4 to 5 weeks is a reasonable time.
4 to 5 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty, you know, I hate the word average, but I'd say average, with
No,
that.
that's fine. So 4 to 5 weeks, and that includes a site, correct?
Yeah, I mean, however many you want to build, like again, that's
Okay.
yeah. So if you wanted to
All
start
right.
with 5, right, you're gonna have 5.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
really
All
just
right.
depends on
All
what you
right. So let me full disclosure.
yeah.
I had a call yesterday with Adam Carrington, and I put it off until tomorrow because I
Yeah,
wanted to see what this was all about.
for
With
sure.
Adam Carrington, and let me go back a little bit further. You ever heard of drop ship lifestyle?
Um, I've I'd have to like Google it specifically. I've been in this internet world for a long time, so I know plenty about drop
So
shipping.
this is Adam Crowley, Anton Crowley from Long Island. I started with him for the last year. Really haven't done much. I'll take some of the blame because I've just been
Yeah.
busy. All right, but
Okay.
um, I've given him close to $13,000,
I'm
which
sure you
I'm
have.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to get half of that back as a, you know. So I'm in a position, the 7 grand I can get my hands on, but I was gonna use that for Adam Carrington. Yeah, what I need for Adam Carrington is 12 and change. I have to finance the rest of it. I
Yeah.
guess they do that. I don't know how they do that, but that's what they said. So who knows?
We
Obviously
have
with you
financing
guys,
too, but I mean, I guess and listen, I appreciate the honesty and I'm super listen, we're New Yorkers, like we get it. Like I want you to make whatever decision you feel comfortable with. I think the biggest thing I like to hear from you is because at the end of the day, this is a business, right? You're only going to make money, whether it's with this or whether it's Adam or whoever,
yeah,
whatever,
whatever,
right?
whatever. Yeah, I got you.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You have to know that you see the value and really see the end goals, right? Of what these models are, because that is where the success is going to come in. Like, I think that drop shipping can be amazing. I also think that, affiliate marketing could be amazing. I also know from doing this as long as I have, there's things that have come into knowledge that I know from an internet side, right? Like just knowing things that I don't like the model per se because of the work involved, right? Like I just know,
Which one? See,
with
sorry.
like affiliate marketing, I think affiliate marketing is awesome, except if you don't have a following, how are you going to get customers? I mean, that's what I ask
Well,
people all the time.
what he said, and I'm not pitching it to you. What
Yeah,
he said, Carrington, they go through emails. So I'm gonna touch that touch base with you that for that in a minute.
yeah,
So I'm just gonna backtrack for a second. You mentioned top Google spots, and I saw that in ePay's and
correct.
Dan's presentation. And the only thing that went through my head, I know Google changes its algorithm every so often. How are you able to stay? I think
Yeah,
between 1 and 3 is what I think is supposed to be, right? So how do you stay up there? Like ePay said, he's been doing it
yeah.
10 years, I guess. He had one site for 10 years, something like that.
We've
But
me and you joined around the same time, so I mean, we've both been doing
right,
this a long time. Listen, I think again, the algorithm can change, but the
yeah,
core of what Google is, okay? Like take
yeah,
again, we're
okay.
no fluff people. The core of what Google is, they're a data system. Okay, it's value. What value are you adding to the internet? Okay, so if you do like a simple search, honestly, like if you want to know more about elephants, okay, I mean, I know this sounds dumb, but like I
Okay.
just
Okay.
I'll show you. Like you type in elephants.
Mm.
Okay, great. What is the first thing that comes up? It's Wikipedia. Why? Because the word elephant is listed. You know what I mean? Like they like that is the core of things and how SEO and how Google, dominates with authority and all this other stuff. Like these are the stuff we teach you. That really hasn't changed. Okay. Like from the time I
Okay.
started till now. The other side of this is, you know, I think that you want it goes back to your goals, honestly. Like you got to figure out, is this about money? Is this about time? Is it about money and time? What's more important, right? Like you just got, I mean, like you got to figure out what you want, right? From a business side of it. Because I can tell you for a fact, I don't care who says what. I mean, drop shipping is not passive in an
No, that's tough. That's tough, Sarah. Drop shipping is no joke.
yeah,
Just getting the customers
product. I mean,
and
it's
the right.
like,
That's so I'm willing to put
yeah.
that to the back burner, so to speak. So
So
right now it's just you guys and Adam Carrington. I mean, I know enough about Adam Carrington, but I don't know enough. I'm knowing now, starting to know about you guys. Um,
I want to know, is it affiliate marketing? Is that what it is? I don't,
Adam Carrington, you mentioned the word. It is affiliate arbitrage. That's what it's called. I mean, so what it is, it is he sells a particular health product to women 45 years and up. That's one of his products. And the difference with him is, as opposed to other affiliate marketing, he goes through email. Doesn't go through YouTube, doesn't go through Google, nothing like that, just straight email. So he's been doing it so long, that's what they say. He can
yeah.
go through email and everybody. So all of us get emails. And his customers, I guess, the advertisements in the email they want. So he has
No,
figured out a way,
I know what he's doing. I mean,
okay,
again, we teach email marketing. I'll be honest, it's not that
mhm,
simple. You can't, like,
okay,
especially now with all the rules and regulations that, spam like emails and stuff have, you have
yeah.
to know how to warm up an email account. You have to have that cost. There's a lot of softwares you have to scrape email lists. Um, you have to buy them or you have to know how to scrape them because
Well,
again,
yeah.
I mean, but
He,
like realistically, right? Like he could show you, but I know how to do it. And I'm telling you, like, I think, and we've used email marketing, but like, think about,
okay,
you probably get, if you signed up for the call, you're going to get our emails, right? That's a list, right? But that is accumulated from organic traffic, right? We've driven traffic through SEO, which is passive. We write an article, right? And it stays there and people find it. Okay. Um, if you're mass email marketing, you're gonna have to send out. And again, I'm telling you just from I don't, it's no, I want you to be happy with whatever you choose. I truly like, if you find value in this, great. If you like that option better, that's amazing. You just got to see this, like, that's where the success is. I'm just going to give you my,
I'm confused now.
no, well, I mean,
Not with you. I'm just saying in general. Because again,
I
I was
just,
supposed to make the call yesterday,
no,
and
no,
when I
no.
saw you guys, I said, "Wait a minute." It's a shame. But anyway.
And I don't think that his mom, I mean, like, listen, I think everyone has a truth, right? Like he's found success in that, right? Okay, amazing. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not knocking that situation. I just think that, especially with affiliate marketing and things like that, if you look at the core of what it is, you're also still working for somebody because you're selling a product that is not your
That's
own.
true. You got me there.
So,
That's true, Sarah. That's
so
true.
you're
Yeah.
hoping that it's a good product, right? You're hoping
Hmm.
that people find value in it, right? Like you don't, at the end of the day, you don't know, like you don't know,
Right. You know.
um,
No.
and you're hoping all these things, but you're doing, like, you're their little salespeople. That's what you are, right? And yes, you can make a pretty penny for it, but you're still not in control of your money. And if they decide to stop selling this health product or whatever you sell in affiliate marketing, okay, great. Now you got to start from scratch and you're going to have to find a new product, right? Now you're going to have to market to who? You got to find a new list. You're going to hit the same people that, that what you already preached about, this product being the best thing in the world. Now you're going to hit them with another one. Like, to me,
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
you know, again, I know a lot of people that make a lot of money doing it. And I just think that, and that's amazing. I just know the work involved with that side of it. And I personally don't love it. Like if I had a million followers, like on Instagram, if I was like famous or whatever, I would be silly to not do some sort of affiliate marketing, right? I already have the following. Like I could put a link up and people would buy it in 2 seconds because I've got the traffic already. The problem
Okay.
is that if you're starting from ground zero, building up traffic and building a book, a business, or whatever you want to call it, right? It's hard.
Right.
It is a work. It is work there, especially to do it fast. Um, so that's just my opinion on it, from giving you a different perspective.
Yeah. What got me is on their first call when I told them about retiring, they said we could arrange things for you to do that in June, which sold me, right? So, um,
Fine. I mean, I think anyone can say anything.
yeah,
Um,
well, that's true too. I mean, they
you
don't,
know,
I haven't paid anything to them, but
no, for
you know,
sure. I just
yeah,
like realistic. And I think, again, that's who we are as people. I could sit here and tell you if you want, listen, we're human beings and our mind and, willpower can do a lot of amazing things, right? Like in life. If
hmm,
you want to retire by June and just get it done, whether that's with this or with affiliate marketing or whatever, that's up to you, right? Like we're
okay,
just handing you the tools to get it done. So
okay,
your success is not based on me. It's not based on them either, right? You need to find the tool that's going to help you get there. Now, I think that's my point is like, you know, yes, you want to retire by June, but you also need to maintain that money, right? Like this needs to be a long-term play. You can't
it
just
does, sure.
for sure. I mean, like I literally just talked to my dad last night because he is stressing out about the stock market and like he's like, oh my God, like, he's retired. And I'm like, Dad, like, but like, see what I mean? Like your eggs are in a basket. Like, I mean, what are we doing,
Mhm.
right? You're reliant on everything else in the world happening that's affecting what? His retirement money? Like that's a lot to put on your shoulders, right? Like, especially from a long
Hmm.
play. So that's all I'm giving you a different perspective. And you gotta, I don't like ever saying, hey, I can I help you get to retire by June? 1,000%. Do I think you can if you want to? 1,000%. Am I gonna sit here and, you know, guarantee anything like, oh my God, you're gonna have this amount of money? No, because I just don't think that's not fair. Like I don't know that, like I can't control you. So why in the world would I
Hmm.
say that, I can help you, I can put, a guarantee on the course price or whatever, like things like that. But I don't want to sit here and paint a picture that I just think is very unrealistic. And that's why the course world has so much false hope, I feel like, with some people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a
Hmm.
BSer. Like, I'm going to give it to you straight. This is an amazing model. It's pretty evergreen. I don't care what's going on in the world. If your toilet needs fixing, your toilet needs fixed and you got to call a plumber. So like it doesn't really matter what's happening. I mean,
Okay,
what we're doing, right? We're just being the
all
mid
right,
to a need. And that's it. Like, you know, um, again, there's a lot of ways you can monetize this, but do I think this model is a little bit, it's not instantaneous. Like I'm not gonna, like it is gonna take a little bit of time. Like that is just how it works. But I've done this
okay,
for 10 years, so
all right. So I don't know how much time you have, but I
you're
have
good.
time. Tell me where do we go from here now? I mean, let's show me this, how is this done? I mean, what to expect? I guess that's because I think I'm out of the questions that I had for you.
Okay.
Drive
Yeah.
traffic leads. Well, let me go back to one other question. So let me put on the table this. I don't want to, sounds awful. And you had me laughing when you said when the money is starting to come in, not that you go door to door, but obviously talking to people is then not a problem. And I understand that. The ball is rolling now. I'm
Yeah.
making money. You're more encouraged, so I won't say that I won't want to do that. I mean, let me put that out there. I mean, believe it or not, as a chaplain, we talk to people all the time.
I
But
know
that's
that's
a
me too.
different mode, different mode, but
You
still.
probably have harder conversations doing that than anything that this would.
Well, because I've been taught death and
Yeah.
all that. So believe it or not, that's very simple to me. I know it sounds crazy, but anyway, I'm not much of a sales person, but here we go. So how does this work then? Let's get into that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a concern, right, which it sounds like, and believe me, I'm telling you from my own experience, it was very daunting to me, like
Hmm.
having those conversations. It was something unknown to me. I'd never done it. I've never done sales or, whatever. Um, I did learn though, again, I think at the end of the day, sales truly is just a conversation, right? That's what, hey, does my value, do you see value in what I have to offer? And, is it a mutual exchange, right? That's a sale, that is sales, in that regard. What it really helped me when I started to flip my mindset and I realized like, when you talk to these business owners or small, medium-sized businesses, right? And they're like, they just want the same things we want. They want to go to their kids' games. They want to, make more money, buy a new truck, for whatever the case is. Like they went in for their trade. They
Hmm.
just don't know how to get the customers, right? They're going up against, the big dogs and blah, 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 and all this stuff. When you're able to come in and really offer that help, it really does build. I mean, like I said, you're a chaplain, I was a teacher. Like there's a passion in there somewhere for doing what we do, right? Like, and I think that I've started to realize they need me. Like it's almost like that, in that weird way. Like they needed me and they do need me. And they're so thankful. And you just kind of build these relationships with these business owners. And it's like, I mean, it is mind blowing a little bit. Like I mean, 10 years into this, and I'm still extremely close with some of my first clients, like we've grown together in business. Like, when you start adding 40 grand a month into their revenue, like, okay, like you're, hey brother, like, I mean, that's what it is, right? Like you are,
Okay.
so I think it's just one of those things, like, I don't really look at it as sales. I mean, yes, in a way, are you selling? Of course. I think everything in life kind of boils down to sales, right? So does dating, marriage, I mean, all of it. It's, you're
Yeah.
selling
Selling
yourself.
something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think that if you kind of have to switch your perspective on it a little bit.
Hmm.
And same with affiliate marketing. Yeah, I mean, you're faceless if you want to put it that way. But I do think there is a human element to this, whether it's via Zoom, whether that's in person. I didn't do a lot of in-person stuff, honestly. I mean, I had screaming newborns and a 2-year-old. I mean, I didn't have, I did a lot, phone call or just Zoom it, that kind of stuff. And I think even now it's become even more acceptable to have those conversations, right? Since COVID. I mean,
Since COVID. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now it's a thing, and before, so it's only gotten easier, in that regard, but, it's really not difficult. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not going to be a learning curve. I think it will, it's a new skill set, you know what I mean? But, our value of what we are offering is so immense. It's not even a question of, do you want it? Like, I mean, we own this, right? Like it's my plumbing leads that are coming through. That's the other here. I just thought about this. So the difference too, you are still from the affiliate marketing side of things. You have no control because you're hoping that they find value in that, right? Like I have the control in this business. I don't obviously know how to fix a pipe or a toilet or whatever, right? Like, but I know how to get all these customers that need all these leads, and I can choose whatever plumber that I want to. And let's say that plumber decides he wants to retire, go out of business, whatever. I mean, who knows, right? Like life happens. I still have all these people that need this plumbing job. Well, how many plumbers are in Scranton? Do you know what I mean? You just go down to the next, like,
Oh, so wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You opened me up to something else. So not
yeah.
only are you dealing with the contractor, you you know the customers as well.
So the way this works, you don't know the customers. It's
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, you don't have
Okay.
to deal with them. No, no, no. Like I mean, but it's your website that you own. Here, I'm gonna show you an example. Hold on. This might.
Okay. And before you do, you don't get paid. They don't pay you until they get paid. Is that how it
Well,
works?
that's not true. I mean, we go over that in the course. There's a lot of different ways to
Okay.
make money. Remember, like
Because
think about this as I think ePay or someone gave this example, but like we're like Uber. Like Uber doesn't own a car. You know what I mean? But they're the connectors. Like that's what this is in a way. Like we own plumbing leads. We own customers in a way that need plumbing or roofing or I mean, landscaping, whatever. I don't own a bulldozer. I don't own any of that, but I know how to connect to someone that does, right? And like that's where the leverage comes in because We
Okay.
don't, we have that control compared
Hmm.
to, you just going and, pounding pavement or sending emails for somebody that, has a product, right? So here's an example of like what I'm talking about. So this is we call them a lead gen website. Okay. So like I did my niche research. I found that I want to build, do this like appliance repair in El Paso, Texas. Okay, great. So then I built this site. Sorry, my computer froze. Come on, computer. Okay, there we go. So I built this site, and obviously, like, I don't actually do know how to fix a washer because I did it before, but I mean, like, I'm not going to go do that. You know what I mean? So this is my connecting piece. So when someone in El Paso Googles appliance repair, my site like this comes up. We have a call tracking system that tracks everything, records the calls, emails, texts, all that. That
You
you
guys have that. Do I also have that?
Yeah, I mean, you can use it. We built it for our businesses and you have access to it if you want to use it. So,
Okay. And then
um,
one other question popped up as you showing me this. Um, it slipped my mind. I'm sorry. Go on. Go
okay.
on,
No,
sir. I'm
if it
sorry.
comes back, just interrupt me and then tell
And
me. But like
oh,
that point, we just connect it immediately to someone that is going to service it, right? But we can track everything. We know the value we're bringing, right? So we can get paid for those leads. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how, and again, we go over all the small logistics, right? Like of do they pay you before or like we'll teach you all the, again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You know what I mean? Like we have a saying, like, don't get mad at your money. If this site is going to cost you $50 a month to run and they want to pay you, $750 a month and it's hands off for you. I mean, you're not doing anything. You already did the work. You built the site. It's getting phone calls, right? Let them fix the appliances. You go build another one or go do, I don't know, go fishing or whatever you want to do, right? Like, doesn't matter. Like, you're still getting paid regardless of, it's just the difference of, I feel like this is an actual need compared to if I'm going to buy a weight loss supplement. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there is a very big difference in those kind of things. Like this is never going away. Period. End of story. Like there will always be, there's thousands of different services, right? Like, I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's not saturated. Like, there's just so much out there and you just have to know how to find it, which is what we teach you. And like, you know, build it. Like it's not that difficult.
is is it $50 per site? Is that how approximately?
I'd say about that. Yeah. I mean, it could be a little less. I mean, the call tracking number is $15 a month. The hosting, I would say, is about, depending on like how many sites you have, but I'd say 15 to 20 bucks a month, and I give or take some, random small stuff. But yes, I would say 50's on the high end. But yes, that's about what it is.
Okay.
So, you don't
Mm.
need much. You don't need all this fancy stuff. Like, I mean, I've said this before with other programs, like, you know, they're gonna pitch softwares and some of them you do, right? I think even for for drop shipping stuff like that, you have to know, I mean, logistics and all, I mean, you're getting into a whole nother realm of world and we're very simple. Like it's just, hey, we're connecting the dots. I know how to do,
Right.
I want to make money. I want something that I can do when I want to do it, you know? I don't have to be in front of my computer, from 8 to 5 or whatever the case is. Like I can show up at night or, do 2 hours today and none tomorrow and 5 the next day. It doesn't matter. Like it's all,
Okay.
very conscious of what you need it to be.
Okay. Do you have time to show me the course or
Yeah,
show
yeah.
me what you want to show me? I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll be
All right.
honest with you. Like I don't really have agendas for these calls. Like I said, I'm an open book. Like I like to know your questions, go over them, and I think like
Hmm.
very fluid, because I'm not like trying to sell you. Like, I mean, honestly, like if you see the value in this, like I said, it's here. I've had great, success with it along with a lot of other people, throughout the years. But if you feed you at the end of this, I feel like if you want to do this or not. Like that's the truth. Like, I mean, and I think that, you're not going to be, what is up with my internet? There we go. You're not going to be successful at anything, unless you want to do it. Like, and
Okay.
I think that you almost have that feeling, and this is what it was for me. Like, I don't really know the how, like, even when Dan was talking to me years ago, I didn't know what the heck or how I was going to do it. I had no idea, right? I didn't know any of this stuff yet, but I did know, I'm like, I see the value in this and I know I want to do it, right? Like, I see where I could find value of having this business model. And I think like that's where, the rest you just learn along the way, and again, you have a lot of help, and support from that. From a mentorship side, coaching, like I said, I'll show you the community. So that's a very, very active community. We do, twice a week.
If I sign up, you said coaching. Is there a particular coach that I get or anyone, whoever's available? How does that work?
So you always have my calendar link, that you can always book a call. I'll show you that too. But again, I
Okay.
mean, I think there's a lot of us that, so this is the community, right? So
Okay.
we do live
Oh,
coaching calls twice a
oh,
week.
is that on Facebook?
Hmm.
Okay. Believe it or
Um,
not, I do not have Facebook, but anyway.
I know I hate
But what's it
Facebook,
called?
but
Dropship was what's it called? They had Discord. You ever heard of
mm,
Discord? Yeah, that's what they had. Yeah, yeah.
we've tried, like, listen, we've tried other things, but you got to remember, we've been around for over 10 years. Like there was
Mm,
no Discord back then. So like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of content because we record all of our calls. Like these are
okay.
two almost, I mean, this is an hour and 15-minute twice a week kind of stuff, like so the thought we've tried and to please everyone is hard, especially when you have everyone around the world, right? Like to do this, but also the task of trying to get this stuff off of Facebook is a lot bigger than we
Oh,
anticipate.
it's tough to get it off of Facebook. Is that what
Yeah,
you
I
say?
mean it
Oh,
is
okay.
because I mean again, we have 10 years of accumulated content. I mean that's insanity, and I even think back then Dan had no idea it was ever gonna grow to what it did. He was just teaching people and like, hey, he found a way and he's like, dude, this works. Like you do it. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just kind of grew and like it's just that organic process. So it just kind of became
Okay.
in itself. But my point with that is, I mean, you can make a fake, I mean, you don't have to, show your face or anything like that. I mean, there's people that have, just an account to kind of again check out the lives or be active. But um
Okay.
yeah, so this is a community. I mean, we have a dedicated support team that just answers questions. Again, you can hop on the lives. These are the group settings. So, I mean, it is,
When are you have two
two,
conferences per week, right? Is that what you
yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays at
what time?
7:30 our time, East Coast. It's 4:30 Pacific.
Oh, it's 7:30 in the morning.
No, PM.
Oh, PM. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh,
All
no. No. I'm not a
right.
I did my 7:30 a.m. I mean, I still do with the kids at school, but we're not morning people.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
So the sixth, I'm sorry, go on. Sorry.
no, so this is the group stuff, but then I'll show
Right.
you like this is the calendar that you get. Um, mm, mm, mm. So this is just an example, like you have this calendar link and you can get on and like book a call. So like, tomorrow I only have one available, but whatever, you get the gist. Like, if you need help, it's at your fingertips, right? Like hop on and book a call, like, I mean,
Okay, that's
it's all
cool.
for you.
That's cool. This you said 6 grand if paid in full as opposed to 7 grand. What does that mean?
So if we need to like, if you obviously pay like it's a discount, we're not going to charge you interest. Okay. Like it's just not who we are. Like if you need payments or whatever, we have a financing option that you can go through. That's 7 grand. And then if you have 6 grand that you want to put it on a card or anything like that, it's 6 grand. So it'll save you $1,000.
Okay.
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 Um,
Money back guarantee?
yeah, I mean, listen, I think, the reality with this, you have to be willing to give it some time. Like I would say at least a couple months. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, I just don't want people come in and be like, oh my God, like I did this for 2 weeks. It's like, I mean, you're not,
Okay, I got
that's just not realistic. Like, don't start a business. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I tell, like, you have to know that like this is if you're putting in the work, I promise you this, I can promise you this. If you put in the work and you freaking listen to what we tell you, there's no reason why you won't make money. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to make, 6 grand, which is what your goal is, right? To retire a month or whatever by June.
it. At
I am
least,
not
yeah.
going to, yeah, I'm not going to put a number of that because I don't know. But what I can tell
Okay.
you is that you will work up to that point and I will help you get there as close as I can if you're willing to do what I tell you. You know what I mean? Like
Okay. All right.
there's
Fair
so
enough.
many, ways to do this. And
Fair enough.
you know, what
Okay.
takes one small thing daily, be consistent, you know, once you get through the beginning, that's the hardest, right? Because you're learning. You have to, you're learning. You have to be willing to do that. But it's just rinse and repeat after that, right? Like it really isn't that hard. So, as long as you're willing to give yourself a little grace in that sense and know, hey, starting a business, I have mentors that are in my back pocket. But the reality is you are still starting a business and you're going to go through that and you have to just be willing to commit some time to that. But like,
Mhm.
I mean, when I started, I was probably making like, I don't know, I'd say I was making 2 grand a month-ish consistently by like 6 months in. But like that's compounded, right? I did 500 my like, my first 7 weeks, then I added like another, 700 and then, so on and so forth. But I went at a snail's pace, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't really like I wasn't focused on this as
Were
my
you still
hustle.
teaching it when you started?
No, 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 no.
No, no, you were. Okay, that's fine.
I
Okay.
got roped into this a little bit, not roped in, but like I told you, I've known Dan since college. I mean, our kids have grown up together. I'm actually getting married at his house in 2 weeks in Vegas.
Oh,
Like
congratulations. That's
I
nice.
think
That's cool.
well, I got a lot going on right now.
I
But
see.
um yeah, I mean, like we've all just done this for a very long time. So,
Mhm.
um, and going back to like my roots, I loved teaching. I really did. I hated the certain aspects I didn't know about it, the politics and everything else involved, but it really does. I love helping people. That is a very big thing for me. I feel value and worth that way. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I've built up my business. I've got plenty of money. I don't need money. Like I don't need money. I have some time. My kids are older, and Dan's like, hey, like, do you want to help out a little bit? You've got so much knowledge. I think that it is my little piece of giving back, in a way. And I do love it. I mean, I've made a lot of cool connections. We're going to Australia for our honeymoon in
Okay, cool. Very cool.
but like, I think it's so cool. I've literally talked to people from this course, right? I've never been to Australia before, but like, we're like tight. We're friends. I mean, I'm gonna go hang out with them. Like, and I just think it's so cool. I mean, it's like those are the things that like there's no amount of money you can put on that kind of stuff,
Okay.
from
All right.
this aspect. But no, I didn't teach it. I just think that it also keeps me fresh a little bit too, because when you do something for so long, right? Like, um, it gives you a different angle, to see. Also, as well, you guys can't talk to somebody on the other end of this that's never done it. I mean, what do you, I mean, meaning like I have real world experience that I can tell you from a perspective of, hey, I know what this is going to be like. This
Mhm.
is, how in the world can you make a decision based off your life? Because I do think that is right. This is a life thing for you. Like you need to
It
retire,
will
you
be.
need
Yeah, it
money.
will be. Yeah.
And I think that I mean, why in the world would just some random person that wants to make a sale, on the other end that's never done the model or anything? I just think that's not really a very good perspective, right? I think you
Mhm.
need the real truth and experience of, hey, like this is what it's going to be like. This is how it's going to roll, X, Y, and Z. So, anyways, but yeah, I mean, that's us in a nutshell. So, you know, everything like we talked about, you'll get, a lot of help. You'll get some done for you sites, even with the smaller package, you'll still get some
Yeah.
sites built. Um, so, we can get you moving. You got to go over your goals. We got to set realistic expectations, but you know, that's we're here to help, in what way we can.
Okay.
So,
All right. So I need to make a decision, obviously.
yes,
Um, that helps. Right? Um, what I want to do, all right, so let's say I said yes, I'm in. What happens now? What do we do?
we
I
get
just
your,
I'm trying.
yeah, I mean, we get your login, right? Payment, receipts, all that stuff. We get you,
Okay.
make sure you can get logged into the course. I give you like your first little assignments or, like again, I like to handhold in the beginning because I do think that it's important. So I will give you kind of a setup of I want you to get through X, Y, and Z. And then when that is finished, I want you to hop on my calendar. You book a call, right? Like I'm not telling you that you have to have it done by, this
No,
time on, but
that's helpful to me because I can
yeah,
procrastinate. That's when when I said to you, I was doing a job ship for a year and it didn't work, and half of it is what that's because I had nobody holding me to my feet to the fire. If that's
yeah,
what you can do, that's pretty good because I respond to stuff like that because I don't want to be embarrassed.
I know, I hear you. Unfortunately,
All
I'm
right,
very
so
similar. I don't, I perform very well under pressure as much as I hate it, but,
mhm.
and again, I've done this. I know how it works. Like I know where the struggle is. I know the questions you're going to have before you already have them. Like I literally hop on
Okay,
these calls and I'm like, I can just tell. And I'm like, listen, I already know where this is going, like, so
yeah.
it just gives you that reassurance. I'm not going to do the work for you because I mean, listen,
No,
at
I don't
the end of
expect
the
you to. Of
day,
course, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah,
No, no, no,
but
no.
like our goal is to teach you how to fish, right? Like we need you to learn how
Yeah.
to fish so that you are just going to have all of that skills and knowledge to go out and feel comfortable on your own to go fish. And it's not going to do you any good for me to show you how to do it once, right? So like that's why
Okay.
we do this over and over. So,
All right. So here's where I'm at.
okay.
I've got 6 grand sitting in my bank account.
Okay.
I was going to use that. I want to make the call tomorrow because I owe the guys that.
Okay.
But with that whole process, I still have I think their starting course is 12.6 or 12.5. So
Mhm.
they somehow assure me they can finance the rest. I'm not crazy about that. So that's an edge for here,
Mhm.
because I already have it, right? So what I want to do is make the call tomorrow, and then Thursday or Friday, I will make up my mind. And what do I do? Get back in touch with you, or do we set the date? Set a time now? Because
Um,
this looks. I mean, look.
You can
It's
you can be totally honest. You are not gonna hurt my feelings. Like you can I want you
I
to
am being honest.
I
I
know.
am. I am.
I believe me, I totally respect what you're saying. I want you to feel comfortable with everything. And if you know, want to, I don't think you owe anyone anything. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe them anything, right? You got to remember this is
Right.
your business. Like, and this is your life. It's your retirement. You need to find the right tool that is going to get you there, right? Like it does not my feelings don't matter, their feelings don't matter, right? And to be honest, to even be fair to them a little bit, if it's 12 grand and it's the right path, it's 12 grand, do it. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't matter about the
Well,
money. And
you know what? You know what's so funny? I was watching videos from them. Robert Kiyosaki, he has a video. You know, I'm a funny guy. I like cars, so I'll spend money on cars, but that's about it. You know, I won't spend money on anything else. So, um, in the Robert Kiyosaki video, he says debt, he teaches that debt is good.
it
You
can
need
be.
debt, right? That's what he teaches. So he says debt is excellent if you trust the asset. And
Correct.
that just I've never
Point.
heard it like that before. That blew my mind. So it's
Yes.
I'm a Christian, so
Yeah.
I equate it to this. You trust, people, I trust in God, and people say, how can you trust in God? You don't see him. This is ridiculous. Look
Right.
what's going on in
That's
the world, right? But
correct.
you can't sway me from trusting God.
Yep.
So I'll go through hell and high water if I have to,
Yep.
or stuff like it's Lent now, right? So I will, not do X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
for the next 60 days, 50 days, but because I trust that
Correct.
process. I trust God, right? So that
Yeah.
that was a pretty good eye-opening thing. If
No,
you
I
don't mind the
totally.
debt, if you trust the asset, that's pretty good. I like that.
It is very, in my mind, it's a calculated risk, right? And I look at life like that. I think we've all gone through
Right.
enough of life where, listen, I had the best intention. I thought I knew, we don't know. Like we're human. We don't know
Mm,
these things, right? So like that's what I tell people. Like you have to trust yourself, right? A little bit with this. And that's why we try to lay out everything. Hey, this is what it is. If you can kind of visually see yourself, it's like that mustard seed, right? Of what we're talking about. Like same thing. I mean, to me, I would take a calculated risk on this rather than trusting a product. Like that is the harder thing for me because I just know what's out there in the internet world. And that's what's hard is like, I think it's very, I just think it's fatty, like, I just don't think, I think,
okay,
that stuff. So that's just my
that's
take, my
cool.
opinion. But my point is, I want you to do whatever you feel comfortable with. And so
Okay,
I don't want you to feel like you owe anyone anything because you don't. And you need to make
all
whatever
right.
decision, you know, that you feel is the right to get you to your goals. And,
Mhm.
whether that's, this, whatever, that course, being an Uber driver, doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter what you do. It matters how to get there.
Yeah.
You got to get there. So I just want, if you totally want to talk to them, great. We can it'd be easier for me if we could at least kind of have something on the schedule.
Oh,
You know,
you're getting married when now? I forget. In two weeks or next month?
no, in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. So you all
No,
right.
no,
So
hey, are you kidding me? That's right. It's dialed now. I mean, it's my second marriage, obviously. So I was married for like 8 years, before. And then,
that's just,
yeah, like I moved out to Florida 9 months ago because where my fiance lives. And
okay,
we've
that's
been dating
cool.
long
Wow.
distance. Yeah, I know. Like we've been dating long distance for like 2.5 years. And I finally was like, okay, like I guess I was in Vegas with Dan. And like I said, they're my family, like, and so it was heartbreaking leaving. Like
Mm,
I mean, it was hard, leaving your support system and your group of people that listen, they just get me because we've all done this for so long. Like we live how I don't have anyone telling me what to do, right? I've worked for myself. But my fiance, he owns I say real business. He owns like a brick and mortar business. Like he can't get up and,
okay.
you know,
Okay.
uh
Okay. Right. I got you.
no, so like he has, 50 employees. He does, surprisingly enough, he does events. So that's what he does, tents,
Okay.
things like that.
Very
But
cool. Very cool.
yeah, listen, he's a better man for that than I am. I mean, I couldn't do that because I see the work that goes into owning that kind of business. And I'm so grateful I have this because I mean, the stuff he deals with on a different level is insane. The employee drama, you've got inventory. I mean, it, it just like I couldn't handle it. I'm very grateful that I have a computer and a phone and like that's all I need because
Okay.
there's a lot of other stuff. But anyways, yeah,
Well,
so
let's look at if you can. Oh, it is. That's March 2025. So 14 is Friday.
yeah.
How about 12 noon? If you are you open? Will you have the time there? Because I'm doing all this on my phone because for some reason my tablet would not be up to date today. I don't know what happened to it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's fine. That's
I can't see times. I see that you got the
I'll pencil
14th
you in.
open.
I'll do it
14th?
manually. I have it. I'm not doing anything.
So 12 noon on the 14th. Oh, it's good for me if it's good for you.
Yep, hold on,
Uh,
I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now and you'll get a
okay,
notification. Um, I'll just make it for like 30 minutes if that works. I don't really,
that's
unless,
fine. That's fine.
okay. Um,
It's fine.
mm, 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 12, cool. All right, so
Okay,
yeah, Friday, 14th. Um, yeah, well, we'll chat then, and then I guess I'll send you an email too. So, well, you probably were getting our emails, right? But I'll send you one just so you have mine again.
yeah, I am. Yeah,
Okay. Just keep me in the loop. I mean, if you have more questions that pop up, then again, I'm around. Like just tell me and I can, help clarify something or whatever, but you know, we can touch base
okay.
then and take it from that point.
All right, I appreciate your time. Your
Problem.
presentation is excellent. So,
Thanks.
you're
I'm
winning
just
me to your,
myself. I'm just
you're
myself.
winning me to your side.
I'm not, I don't, I want you to win. I want to help you win to your side, whatever that looks.
Well, you're making it like I should join with you guys, but that's cool. That's very
I
cool.
think you should,
Good
but
presentation. Yeah.
yeah, thank you. I'm
All
just
right.
on
Thank
it. So it was nice meeting you, Michael. And
you
like
too,
I said,
Sarah.
I'll shoot you a quick email just so you have
Okay.
it. And then if anything, we'll chat Friday. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. All
All right.
right.
Bye.